So the other day someone asked me what my skincare routine is. I did think long and hard about it, and I was really dragging my feet. I was wondering whether to put this up in my channel because I'm not sure if you guys will be bored or disappointed to hear of my skincare regimen. I have not had a facial in more than 14 years. I think the last time I went to a salon for a facial was before I got married. I do not have any fancy 3-step, 5-step, 10-step skincare regimen, any morning or nighttime routine, nothing of that sort. I do not have any expensive skincare item in my cupboard. I'm not sure if you guys want to hear my fuss-free, low-maintenance skincare routine, if you can call it a routine, that is. But I am 41 years old. I am a doctor, which means I have a very high stress, high workload job. I do lots of night shifts, which means I don't get to sleep every single night of my life. I also don't get to drink enough water every day of my life because I'm so busy at work that I often forget to hydrate myself adequately. In spite of that, this is how I look. Without any makeup, this is how my skin actually looks after just moisturization following a shower. I don't have any filter in the video recording. I'm just recording with the front camera of my Samsung Galaxy S10 phone, and I have never had any cosmetic procedure done to my skin. So I think based on that, I can safely say that I'm doing a pretty decent job of looking after my skin. And if you are interested to know what I do, please continue watching my channel. And before I continue, a quick request to please subscribe. So basically, let's start with knowing about my skin. I have got very oily skin. When I was a teenager, I suffered for years with severe breakouts, with acne all over, like many people of that age group do. And the one thing that really helped me after trying loads and loads of drugstore products, the one thing that helped to calm down the eruptions was a product from Shehnaz Hussein's range called Shark Clear that miraculously got rid of the acne and also the acne scars. I have very few blemish marks, thankfully. I have been a big fan of Shehnaz Hussain, understandably, and I used quite a few of her products. And then when I grew up, I just used whatever I could find in the market. I really wasn't fussy about what I was using on my skin. About 10 years ago, I got a very weird kind of an outbreak. I had whitehead kinds of eruptions all over the lower part of my face. It almost looked like a beard. So I had these weird eruptions and that just refused to go away in spite of whatever I did. So I consulted a dermatologist. This was in Calcutta. I used to live in Calcutta at that time. She is very nice and she dramatically changed the way I look at skincare. I had a heart-to-heart discussion with her about acne and causes of acne and how to manage it. That is when I learned about comedogenic agents. So comedones are the eruptions we get, the blackheads, whiteheads, or maybe acne. Those are called comedones in technical terms, simply putting. And there are substances which can cause more such outbreaks. And I was a little surprised to learn that rose water is also a comedogenic substance. As you know, rose water is very commonly used in products that are addressed towards acne-prone or oily skin. But once I heard this, I completely eliminated rose water from every single item that I was using. I'll highly recommend my dermatologist. She practices in Calcutta or Kolkata, and I'm going to write her name in the video description below. I'm not sure what her current contact details are, but I'm sure if you Google her name, you can find out more information. Basically, after that, I became very careful about what I was putting on my skin. Along with oiliness, my skin is also incredibly sensitive, and it's getting more sensitive with age. So if I experiment with things, then I might end up getting redness or itchiness or burning sensation in parts of my skin. When I moved to this country, I started using Clinic's anti-blemish range, the cleanser, the clarifying lotion, the moisturizer, the sunscreen, and the brush even. And I must admit that worked wonders for my skin. My skin dramatically improved. But then I learned that Clinic still tests on animals for its Chinese market, and in this day and age that's just not something I'm ready to accept. So I gave up the brand altogether and I was wondering what to do with my skincare routine, how to make sure that I don't do more harm than good. As a doctor, I just keep running this in my head. The first tenet of medicine is do no harm, and I do not want to do more harm to my skin. Thankfully, I'm blessed with good genes, and in my extended family, people usually look younger than they are. So I asked myself, what do they do? I mean, apart from the genes, and they don't do anything fancy. So I thought, why not let's go back to the basic and just try basic stuff. So my skincare regimen is, when I wake up in the morning, I cleanse my face with water, just plain water, nothing else, no agent. Then if I have to go outdoors, I go to work most days, I use a sunscreen lotion. I'm a huge fan of Khadi India. I think their products are amazing. They are very cheap, but don't get fooled by the price. Every single Khadi India product I've used has been absolutely top class. So this is a sunscreen lotion which promises SPF of 30, and it has added shea butter but no parabens. Now, the reason why I'm so fussy about sunscreen is because of prevention of skin cancer. As a medic, I always think medically. So yes, UV rays can cause signs of early aging, fine lines, blemishes, all that jazz. But for me, the primary reason is for prevention of skin cancer. And this is what I wear every day before I go to work. If, however, I am at home and I do not need to venture out, then instead I go for Khadi Day Cream. Now, mind you, I've got very oily skin. So if it's in the summer months or if I'm in India, then I might not even need to use this. I will just wash my face with water and leave it there, because my skin has got a lot of inherent oiliness. So this is all about my morning routine. For the evening, I make it a point to remove my makeup completely, and I think this is one step I'm absolutely obsessed with. Come what may, I'm not going to leave any trace of makeup on my skin. I think that's very damaging. Also, to note that sunscreen also needs to be removed like makeup, because sunscreen also sticks to the skin. And for that, I use a combination of oil and a cleanser. So most days, I'll be at work and I wouldn't be wearing foundation, or even if I am, it'll be very light makeup. To remove that, I use a combination of neem oil. Once again, this is from Khadi, and jojoba oil. I combine these two and I massage it on my face for a good minute. Once it is massaged in, it just takes the makeup off, and then I use a small flannel towel. I soak it in hot water. I've got running hot water in my tap, so I just moisten it with hot water and leave it on my face for a few seconds. That really helps to take the makeup out, and I then wash my face with lukewarm water. The next step that I do is cleanse. So I have got a homemade cleanser. This is what a friend has made for me. She's also a neighbor. Her name is Anita. She's a very kind person, and she gave this to me as a birthday gift. She asked what my skin type is and what my preferences are. I said oily but no rose water, please. So she has made this with a number of organic ingredients. So in the next step, I cleanse with this. So what I do is that my face will already be wet from washing with lukewarm water after using oil, and then I take the cleanser in my palm, and instead of forming the lather in my hand, I put it straight to my face and I lather on the skin of my face for about a minute, and then I wash it off with normal temperature water. And after that, I just use a moisturizer, and that will be once again a Khadi product, the Khadi Night Cream. So this is the Khadi Night Cream. Oh, it smells lovely. It smells like incense sticks. Now this is what I usually do. If I'm wearing a lot of makeup, then I need something stronger to remove it, and for that my go-to product is coconut oil. Now I just accidentally stumbled on it. I had been to an event where I had worn a lot of makeup, and I came back home and I realized I don't have my makeup remover. So I just got some coconut oil from the kitchen, and the result was so good that I've decided to refill my makeup remover bottle with coconut oil, and this now remains in my bathroom. One thing to remember is that coconut oil is very heavy and it is a highly comedogenic agent. So not everyone with oily skin will be comfortable using coconut oil. It can cause eruptions. I think I'm very fortunate that it doesn't react on my skin. But if you have oily skin or if you have acne prone skin, before you start using coconut oil, please be sure that it does not aggravate your condition. Coconut oil is almost like a magic remedy in my home. I put it on my skin, hair, I cook with it. So I just love coconut oil, but I know that for some people it may not work out. Now, sometimes I can be a little indulgent to my skin, and for that I have a mask, once again a Khadi product, an anti-acne face pack. So basically, I don't know for what reason, probably because of stress, when I'm doing night on calls, somehow it only happens after nights. So I'll get a lot of eruption on my face, a lot of acne, and to calm things down, I use this anti-acne face pack. It works very well. The only expensive item I have in my skincare range is a Kama Ayurveda Kumkumadi Tailam. This is a facial oil which contains saffron and it's said to illuminate or brighten up the skin. This is for nighttime use, and if you go to sleep with this on, it can stain the pillow. So I try not to use it every day, but there are times when the skin just loses its luster and needs a bit of pick me up. So for those days I use the Kumkumadi Tailam. So this is what I do every day. I do admit that this sounds pretty boring, but I think this is enough for me. I really don't think that I need anything fancy. When I feel like pampering my skin, I turn to my kitchen. I know it sounds funny, but when I'm cooking, most of the times, if there's any leftover vegetable or fruit remains, I'll use that on my skin. I'll just put it on my skin and I'll finish my cooking, and when it's all over, I'll just wash it off. It can be avocado, it can be tomato, lime, lemon. I've even mixed coconut oil with turmeric root, not turmeric powder, and put it on my skin, left it for a few hours. Thankfully my skin was still intact and fine. And pretty much everything except ginger, garlic and chili I've put on my skin. When I used to bake, the leftover dough that got stuck to the bowl, I used to take it and put it on my skin. That's an excellent cleanser, and as Indians we already know about the cleansing benefits of gram flour. For a scrubber, I have heard recently the world of dermatology has completely changed our perception of scrubbing, and we now know that it's not good to scrub our skin regularly. That only leads to abrasion and further damage. But sometimes you just need something to remove the dead skin layer. So when my skin feels rough, especially around the nose area, I tend to get eruptions on my nose, blackheads on my nose. So when I feel that that's coming up, I use either sugar or salt or coffee grains or even oats. Mix it with coconut oil and rub it on my face, so that acts as a good scrubber. I try to avoid coffee grains though, because it just stains, it becomes messy, it stains the basin and then I have to clean everything up. So that's it. I mean, it's all pretty simple. I think everything that is good enough for my stomach is probably good enough for my skin, and unless it's going to irritate the skin like chilies, I'm happy to put it on. But since I've been experimenting like this for a while now, I now know that which product is going to irritate me and which isn't. So I have spent years figuring out what works for me, and I wouldn't just prescribe you to go ahead and use the same things that I do just because you have oily skin like me. I'm very careful, as I said, about what goes on my skin, and that's one thing that I'll suggest you do too. If you have any skin concern, my recommendation will always be to go to a dermatologist. With due respect, all the beauty influencers, I'm sure they do their homework. I don't have any doubts about their capability, but I find this new trend very concerning, that where all these beautiful ladies come up on our phone screens and talk about the 5 must-dos for our skincare, 5 must-haves, vitamin A, B, C, niacinamide, retinoid, this and that. And to me, they are all active ingredients. And unless I'm sure that that it's definitely going to help me and not cause more harm, I feel very, very jittery about using them. I'm not going to lie, so many times I felt tempted to buy and use them. Whenever I go to Facebook, I get sponsored ads from companies asking me to buy these. When I go to YouTube, I see these beautiful women professing their love for all these products, and I have been so close to buying them. If I was 25 years old, I perhaps would have, but now I have more experience and I have more knowledge, and I know how to take things slow. And once again, that's my medic brain saying, what are the risks, what are the benefits, and unless the benefits outweigh the risks, I'm not going to do it. And this is how I think for every single thing in life. It's my years of training as a doctor that I'm always risk assessing. So if I think that product A is, what benefit is it going to provide me? It is not going to make my skin into a 20-year-old skin. It is not going to. There's nothing that can do that. It's physiologically not possible. So what extra benefits am I going to get from spending this amount of money and also the time in doing this 3-step or 5-step routine every single night? I'm not saying that I'm against using chemical products. I'm a practitioner of modern medicine. Of course, I believe in medications and all these chemical components. But if I ever have a skin problem, I will go to a dermatologist, and I'm happy to use these as long as the dermatologist says that yes, this is appropriate for you. When I had that beard-like eruption, I had chemical peel because that was the treatment. Nothing else had worked. But I'm not going to use something just because someone else thinks it is good for them. Just like, if you have enjoyed this, if you have any suggestion for me, please drop me a line, and take care. Bye.